Hi, everybody. I always have a squeaky voice when I do that. Turn the comments on, see who's there. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Melanie. And Cindy. How are you guys? Hey, Kathy. Pennsylvania. So, my hair's a little wild. Sorry. I fluffed it up, and it fluffs up really well. Um, so, I hope everybody had a good week. We had a good week. We had a pretty good week. I'm pretty excited about it. Our mason finished up today, so that's pretty awesome. So that's all completely done, and it looks great. Um, and he offered to come back and we'll have some fireplaces upstairs, not downstairs. Originally, there were 6 in the house. It's going to be our shop. And we're not going to put the ones downstairs back because, we kind of need it for shop space and it just adds some complexity. So we're putting them upstairs in the 2 guest rooms, which are for inspection purposes, offices, and in my office for real. So hey Lori, hey Beth, hey Inherited Stitches, and Robbie, hey Robbie. Um, so he offered to come back and do some rock work on the fireplaces, which is pretty cool. I hadn't really thought about that. We've got some mantles. Hey Lelena, I saw your order come through, so we've got you ready to go. You might go out tomorrow. Hey Deborah, hey Cheryl, hey Joe, hey Kathy. Um, oh, hey Sheila. And so that was a good day to have them finish up, and they were real happy. I think they enjoyed it. It was a different kind of job for them, and the work is just fantastic, and it looks really cool. Um, it looks like it grew there. It doesn't look like something modern. It looks like it's supposed to be there, which is really great. Hey David, so happy about that. And Everett, sadly, the we had an artist make a beautiful stained glass window like 3 or 4 years ago, for the transom window spot over the window. Hey Susan, hey Donna. And I think I mentioned it a few times because I've been mourning the loss of the window. So the window is fine. It's just exactly the size of the hole. And we confirmed it. All of us that were involved several times. Yes, that's the size. Yes, that's the size. But apparently it was supposed to be the size, including the frame around the window. Hey, Caroline. Hey, Jillian. Hey, Barbara. And there's no frame around it. And so for it to not get twisted and warped every time the door closes, it has to have a frame. And there's no room in that hole to create more room for the frame. So it's not going to go there. So it's going to hang in the bay window on the front. Colorado. Hey, Kathleen. I got to talk to Kathleen this week. And I got to see Susan last weekend with her brother Charles. Hey, Charles, if you're watching. And that was fun. That was fun. I saw some people at the prim retreat, but it has been a while since I've, had friends there. So it was neat. I went over there and they had just gotten there and it was just fun to talk for a minute. I just can't wait till we get it done. And I know you're tired of hearing me talk about it. Just imagine if you'd been hearing me talk about it for 7 long years. You'd really be tired. Maybe we're getting the 7-year itch because it is time. But we really didn't start working on it until 2015. And then we really took a year and a half off when we opened the shop at like 2017, 2018. We just didn't. We couldn't. So anyway, Everett filled in the hole of the transom window where it should go. And it looks beautiful. And he trimmed it out to look just like the antique trim that's around the windows on the front porch. And now I have to think about if I want to put like some kind of medallion or something in that spot. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, right now it's wood. We were thinking about putting a window in there, but we just decided to wait. And at some point, I'll get a stained glass window made for it that will fit the hole. And so, but for now, it's wood, but it's really pretty, and I just need to decide if I want to put something in that area, like some kind of decoration or something, or not. And I've never thought about it, so I don't really know what I might put there. So if you guys have suggestions, let me know. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Kimberly. Oh, I'm glad you're here tonight, too, Melanie. I missed you. And I don't know how much stitching talking we'll get done, because sometimes it's just me talking. Sorry. So anyway, if you have an idea of what could fit in the space of a transom window, and a transom window is the window that was above a door. So it is 13 inches tall by 36 inches wide, something like that. And so, and it's got some trim around it, but there's space to put some kind of something. And Everett can make anything out of wood. So if it's something wood, I thought about maybe mimicking some of the trim that's on the porch, the shape of that trim maybe. I thought about leaving it blank. I don't know, the world is our oyster. So, let me know what you think. Yes, I will put you a photo up. I haven't taken a photo of that yet. Hey, Willa. I think that Everett took a photo. So I will post it. If you're not on the page it's on Facebook. It's called Baird House Becoming Sassy Jack Stitchery. It's a long name because I made it up in 2014. You can jump over there and I'll post it over there. And I might even post it on the Facebook group or something, because I know some of you aren't on Facebook. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to show you for next week, because there's no rush. I just have to figure out what to do, or do nothing. That's an option too. Yay, from Canada. You are. Hey, Kathy. So that was the thing that happened over there this week, is we got some, and Everett boxed in, because there was no plumbing in the house and no electricity upstairs. We had to get it up there somehow, and you don't think about those things, but gas, electricity, and plumbing has to go up from the bottom. And so we brought it in underneath the house, and we took it up through a corner of one of the rooms downstairs. And when you get in the shop, or when we do the video tour, you'll see there's a little box. It's like we took a little corner and we kind of boxed it in, and that's where all the busy stuff is running up to the upper floor. So we boxed all those in using antique wood that was already there, so that we could strip it down and stain it to match what's upstairs if we want to. So that got done too. That was fun. And I think that's all that we got done over there this week. That was actually a lot. That took all week, believe it or not. Hey, Nancy from Massachusetts. Yay. So I do have some stitchy things. I have not finished my 17th, although some of you have. So, and I've seen a finish or two that are beautiful, and I will finish stitching mine this week. And I've got the top finished, which I showed you last week. I'm still working on the sides. I'll finish stitching mine this week, and then I will start putting it together. And I might, if I can get my setup right to where you can watch me do some of it, although I suspect it will take a little while, I might just film it and put a video out there, or I might show you some of it. And I can always do a fake one too. It's not hard. And we can try to do it live here where you can ask questions, or maybe I'll show the little video and then you can ask me questions. Maybe that's what I'll try to do. That's probably the best thing. So I know that Kathy has a video out there. Definitely go watch her finishing video, because I'm going to use her technique to do it. I'll just kind of give you tips and tricks on what was challenging for me. And on that note, some folks have asked me about learning stitches, the video lesson that I was doing with Jeanette Douglas's book, Learning Stitches. And I am going to continue with that. So I'm going to try to film one of those this weekend for you too. I had a friend who has been watching it, and I talked to her yesterday, and she thought I had quit. Oh, my phone. I'm sorry. That's terrible. And so she went ahead and worked on the next two, but she basically, the comment was that it was easier when she saw what mistakes I made. Because that's not exactly what she said, but I think that's what she meant. Because I will tell you where my pitfalls are, which you may not have the same things, but I kind of walk you through what I had to think about, or what was hard, or what I messed up and had to frog. So I'll take you through that. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Darlene. The Bristol sampler is ready. It's just still at the printer. So as soon as we get it back from the printer, we'll release it. So I am going to keep on doing learning stitches. That was the thing I wanted to talk about. On the Bristol sampler, I want to show you a couple things. So we did already get back, and I didn't bring them over here, but we do these project cards for the back of your work. And if you've bought anything from us in the past, you probably got one in your when we mailed it. And there's different ones. Sometimes we do one for the year. Last year it was a flying squirrel, and we've kind of kept him because we love him. But we did just do a new one for the Bristol sampler, and we took, hey Michelle, and we took pictures of some of the stitches, and it's really beautiful. And that did come back yesterday, so I'll grab that before this is over and show it to you. But relative to the Bristol sampler, we have figured out, you're going to need at least a full hank of floss to stitch it. And so, we've ordered in all of these beautiful MPIs, and they're online if you need them. And we ordered in several different reds. I ordered blues, gray, and a green, a really pretty green, in case you want to stitch it in something else. And then a friend of mine asked me if, a stitching friend, if we could get hanks from Belle Soie Classic Colorworks silk. And I talked to the ladies there because I had never seen a hank, and she said, no, we don't really do hanks. But she said, we'll dye whatever colors you want. We just won't card it for you, and we'll send it to you. I said, that'll work. And so several weeks ago, I ordered many thousands of yards of silk from Classic Colorworks, and I ordered 3 different reds and a blue. And I want to show you some of the reds first. And so because we carded it ourselves, they had already cut the silk into 1 yard pieces. So they sent us, these beautiful, gorgeous, sumptuous bags of 1 yard cuts of silk. And we counted them out, and we kind of carded them ourselves. And we called it winding because Allie did all these winding. And she made this really beautiful little, so we used the Classic Colorworks information, and then Allie put a little squirrel on there, and it says wound by Sassy Jack Stitchery, so that you know where you got it. Because until some other shops start doing this, I don't think you can get, I don't know where you can get it like this. But we did it in 40 yards because we calculated that would be enough, including frogging, to do the Bristol, 1 hank. And so this one is called Tulip, which is actually one of my favorites. And you can just see how beautiful that is. So they're not online yet. I will, after this program, I'll put them online, and you can order them. So this one's really beautiful. I did send Gary a picture. If you watched his Wednesday night, you saw one of the blues and one of the reds. But this one's just so pretty, this tulip. I really love it. Now I want to show you, is there a squirrel needle minder for 2022? Not a new one yet. We're still kind of, I'm not quite sure what we want to do for 2022. It's getting by on us. But we still have our flying squirrels. So we did have some more of him, and so we're still sending those out. This one's called Cranberry, and you can see it's a darker, deeper red. So really beautiful. And so a Belle Soie, the difference between the Belle Soie and the needlepoint ink, yes, 1 hank will do the Bristol sampler. And that's why we did it this way. We actually carded it ourselves in 40 yards because we think you'll need, okay, so that's on like 36 or 40 count, 1 single strand. If you're going to stitch with 2 strands on like a 28 or a 30 count, you'll need 2 hanks. But the difference between this and a needlepoint ink is that this is a 12 strand silk or 12 ply silk. So this is a strand, 1 single thing. And if you plump this out and you count how many threads are in there, there are 12. Those are technically ply, which it's hard to see without the thing, but you can see all those spread out. Those are ply. This whole thing is a strand. I don't usually say it that way, but most people don't. We call them strands, but technically they're plies. So this one has 12 in it, and needlepoint ink silk has 8 in it. So you're getting a little bit more by the yard or the meter for this. A yard relative to a meter is about 40 inches. It's like 39 point something inches. And so these are cut in yards because that's how they came to us, because we are Americano. So 40 yards using a single strand will get you through the Bristol. If you're stitching with 2 strands or 2-ply, you need 2 hanks. So that's cranberry. And they're all beautiful silks. And so we do still have a few Soie d'Alger hanks too, but you know, I just really wanted to share all these with you. Okay, this one's the blue one, and this is called Blue Lagoon. And we have Cindy Wright to thank for all this, because she asked about it, and then Janice Green, you know, sent me a note and asked me about it, and I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. So this one is Blue Lagoon, and it is simply gorgeous, gorgeous. So I love it. And how they're tied is kind of like Gloriana just ties the end of the silk. We just, you know, it's not even tied to knots. So you can actually still use this. I can never use the Gloriana end that gets tied because it's got a bad kink. It's tied kind of in a knot. This is not. Allie tied this, and you can untie it, and you can still use that little tail if you're worried about that. So that is Blue Lagoon. Just gorgeous. We looked at Tulip. We looked at Cranberry. We looked at Blue Lagoon. This is Sister Scarlet. And this is one of the ones that Gary showed. And so you see it's a little bit more, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit, I don't want to say rosy because it's not really rosy. But relative to the others it is. So it's just really pretty. Yeah, Cranberry is gorgeous, Mickey. I love it. How does the coverage compare between a single ply of Belle Soie versus MPI? Between Belle Soie and MPI, I've not really noticed a difference. If somebody else has noticed, then, you know, feel free to mention it. I've not really noticed a difference between Belle Soie and MPI, but there might be. It doesn't look too different to me, but I haven't really compared them. I can do that though. I'll try that. Those are the 4 colors that we got in the hangs for now. Trying to show some restraint. We might get more. In fact, we probably will get more. So it's been a good week on the shop side because I've got some other fun stuff to show you. So those are the silks. Hopefully we'll get the Bristol out this week. I'm going to show you that project card before we sign off because it's really pretty. If you buy Alice Ellen Usher, you will get a project card in there. That's why we had them printed. So you get the project card that sticks on the back. You record, you know, when you stitched it, what you use, whatever you want to. It's got a few things you can write on there. And then we're going to also offer them for sale. We've still got the Bristol Squirrel, which is a red Bristol Squirrel from Claudia from MH Smith. She let us do that one when she was here for the Bristol lecture. So we still have those. We sell them in packs of 10 for $4. So if you're looking for them. We still have the Flying Squirrel from last year. He's super cute. And I feel like we've got another one. I know we have another one, but it comes with a sampler. So we do have Mabel Took, but she's in with her sampler. So to get Mabel Took, you'll have to buy Mabel Took. Because that sampler comes with one, and we didn't print extra for that one. And Mabel Took, by the way, Beth, is going to be the, what are we on? We need a March release, don't we? Because we did January, which was Kezia. We did February, which we're calling the Bristol, even though it's March and it's not out yet. So we really need to release a March. And so I think for March, we'll release Mabel. And so I'll show you Mabel next week. It's still going to be March. But Mabel's beautiful, and she's already here and ready to go and kitted up. And for Mabel, we did instructional videos, so you'll have some access to that too. She's a real pretty little sampler. She's got some queen stitches in it, but don't be afraid. I had never really done queen stitches before. I stitched the model for her, and they turned out fine. I think I did 3 practice ones, and I was stitching on 40 count, and I almost had a panic attack because I couldn't get it to work. I was like, oh my God. And it was the last thing I had to stitch on the model. And I just sat there, and I took a break, and I came back to it, and I switched my silk because I was trying to do it with a 103 on 40 count because I'd been stitching with a single strand on the first model of Soie d'Alger. The second model, I did it with needlepoint ink, and it just did not look right. And so the 103 was just too thin for that. And so I went back to using a single strand of the silk, the Soie d'Alger, and they were beautiful, and they did great coverage. And so, I hope you like it. And the second model, I did it with needlepoint ink silk, and I did it on a 32 count, just so you could see the difference in how it looks and how to do those queen stitches. And so it's quite beautiful. And there's a little practice piece, a little small, that we put together for Mabel too, which was really fun. A lot of people finished that. So, all in all, I think you'll enjoy that release. I'll get it all together and we'll launch it for you next week here. So, I know I'm rambling, but I have a little bit of a method to my madness. So, I also did this week, I caught up on Russell. I caught up on all of our class documentation and notification. And so we still have some spots in some of our classes. And I was really excited to see that because we launched, I don't know, like 6 different classes all at the same time in January, early February. And I thought that a lot of them had sold out or were close to sold out. And they are close, but there's still spaces. So I would encourage you to go out and look at the website. And to find the classes, you go to our website, which is sassyjackstitchery.com. And you pull up the thing that says, I think it says classes, either classes or workshop. And it's a little pull down tab if you're on your computer. On your phone, I think you go over to, it could be different for everybody, but you'll find it. Workshops or classes. And there's 2 different categories. There's one for virtual or online, and then there's one for in-person. And there's spots in the in-person classes. So we've got Jeanette Douglas is our first one in May. We've got Susan Greening Davis in June. We've got Hands-On Design in June. We've got Jackie Duplessis in July, and she's got 3 classes. We've got Susan back in August. We've got Summer House Stitchworks in August. We have our soiree in September. And the soiree's got some cool stuff. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And October, we have Primitive Hair. And I haven't put that one out there yet. And I haven't put Susan's August class out there yet. So I'll try to get those out there this week. But all of the others, except for Hands-On Design, still have some spots. But not a ton. So go take a look. You're the first people I've told about it. I think Gary mentioned it on his show. And see if there's anything that you would like to take. And I will tell you my philosophy behind classes and workshops. And we did have some online. We did Crown and Glory again this year, and it actually sold out, so that one's full. The soiree is online. So, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But if you look at my classes relative to some other classes, I feel like they're very reasonably priced. And I do that because I want you to be able to come to the class. That's the real reason. I want you to feel good about coming to the class. And then once you're here, if you want to shop in our shop and you want to buy something, and that's your prerogative. And we would love it if you do. That's kind of, where we make our money. I don't price the classes to make money. I price them at break even. So they cover the expense of the kit, which sometimes can be very expensive. They cover the travel of the teacher, the lodging and the meals for the teacher, and the rental of the hotel space for the class, and the food for the class. So that's why, if you wonder why some of our classes relative to others in the industry might look less expensive, it's because that's my philosophy. I want you to come to the class if you can, because I know there's travel expenses for you involved in that. And then if you want to spend money with us and you like what you see in our shop and you like the level of service that you get, then you can do that. And we earn that. And that way, I think you have a better time that way. I always do. So I'd rather you, have a good time and be able to spend your money on what you want to in the shop rather than spending it all on a class. It's just a way to think about it. I hope that makes sense to you. It's the way I've done it since I opened, and I'm really happy with it. and sometimes I lose money on the class because of that. But that's okay. So that's just the way it goes. You win some, you lose some. But we are a teaching shop. We really want to be able to offer you experiences. And I mean that, experiences. Fun times with your friends, fun times with us, a place where you feel good about being, whether that's in person or online. So, on that note, there are classes still open. And I want to talk to you about now Jeanette Douglas, her class. I'm going to post some pictures of it because I don't think there are many out there. It's a brand new sampler. It's called Needle Be True, and it has some smalls, and it's very beautiful. And we've already contracted with her to come back next year and teach its companion piece. So I believe ourselves and Acorns and Threads, we might be teaching, they might have the companion piece to what we're doing, and then we flip flop next year or something like that. So anyway, there's another one next year, and they're really beautiful. They're not huge, but they're gorgeous, and they're in silks, and so really pretty. Jeanette's fun. And then the next one that I want to talk to you about is Susan's class because it is stunning. I mean, the June class. August class is also fun and beautiful. But June is just, my heart just beats so strong for it. So I have in my little hand, Susan's online, she might be mad. At least she can't yell at me in person, right? I have in my hand the, what you're actually, this is pre-made. So this is kind of a fold out. And then, so it folds out this way. It comes to you like this. And you're going to be stitching on a piece of linen that covers from here on the back to here. So your stitch piece you'll tack onto here, and it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous, and it's Dutch, and it's called the Dutch Dalliance. And so I'll show you a little picture of it. But on the inside, it's really unique and beautiful. And Susan based it on an antique. And Susan, you'll have to tell us. I think you told me you found it in France somewhere. But it has a little pocket here. And it has a little pocket here. And it's the same thing down here. So it has a little pocket here and a little pocket here. And so you can put like your thread winders or whatever. And you can put your laying tools or your scissors or stuff in here. And so it's really functional. And it's pretty small. You can see it just fits in my hand. And so the stitching is gorgeous. It comes from an antique Dutch sampler that Susan acquired that's just stunning. The colors on it are beautiful. And then here, to close it, Allie has handmade the buttons for it. And they are woven. They're hand-woven buttons. And each one has its own hand-woven button that Allie made for you. And so she, learned how to do this at the Campbell Folk Art School. I always say it wrong. She's probably going to have to correct me, but Campbell. We have 3 really good folk schools here that people travel from all over the country and sometimes all over the world for. And Allie teaches weaving at one of those. And so she hand wove this button to match this. It's just beautiful. So by itself, this fold up is just so well thought. And Susan worked really hard. And, the seamstress that made these is a friend of mine. And they worked really hard to get this perfect. And this fabric she's been saving for a long time too. This is an ICAT fabric, but it's just so well thought and beautiful. And Susan has the stitch model, so I got to see it, but I don't have it. But I'm telling you, it's stunning. It is one of the most beautiful things I've seen. So she has spots. Sign up if you can. If you can't make it this year, we might teach it again sometime, but I can't always guarantee that you're going to get that hand-woven button in the future. And this may change. This was hard to make. So if you want this fold out, then you need to take this year's class. So I want to show you just a picture. And it's not the greatest picture. The stitch piece is so much more beautiful. This is in a Mylar thing. But don't get mad, Susan. Shake a little sneak peek. But it's Dutch. And of course, it's on Russian tea cake. That's all I'm going to show you. It's on Russian tea cake linen, so it's a lot lighter linen. The linen perfectly matches this. It's almost this exact color. And then it's got these beautiful, it's all silk, so it's needlepoint ink silks. And the linen is a 37 count, and it's a solid weave, so it's easy to see and easy to work with. And then you get it all stitched on and you attach it to this, and it's just stunning. The other thing that we did for this class is that we designed, I don't know if we've told them about this, Susan. I don't know if I should tell you. I'm going to tell you. So, sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. In fact, I live most of my life that way. We designed a hand stitched name tag that's a pocket, and so it's also beautiful. So Susan, designed it and the finishing for it, and she took some stitching from the sampler that inspired this, and I forget what it's called, the Stairway of Life or something like that. And so it's a pocket, and you're basically getting that just as a gift from us. And so we're just about ready to send those out to the people that are already signed up, and everybody gets one. And if you finish it and wear it, of course we're gonna do something fun for you. But it's really beautiful. It's got this beautiful ribbon and these buttons on it that are just so pretty. I think you'll want to use it. And that was the idea, is that you would use it for other events and retreats. Sorry, got myself all choked up talking about that. Susan did such a wonderful job. And she also, it has our name on the back. It's so cool. So it has a little ribbon that you attach to, I think it comes attached to the back of it. I think it's already done. I think it's already on there. A little ribbon thing that says Sassafras School of Stitchery with Susan Greening Davis. And so you know where you got it from. And it'll be a great keepsake. And it's small. It won't take you long to stitch it. Mark and fabric. Okay. So that's where the fabric came from. So it won't take you a long time to stitch it, but I think it'll be a treasure, and I think you'll love it. Yeah, Lelena. So definitely, hopefully you can come to the next one. I think we will teach this again. I think it's going to sell out this year, and we will teach it again together because I just love it. And so we also have the sampler charted. Allie charted it. Susan's friend Bonnie Moak, my friend too, stitched it. Susan stitched part of it, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So if you like all those bright, beautiful Dutch colors, it is so pretty, so pretty. And you'll learn some stitches on that. So the sampler doesn't come with the class, but you can buy that separately. And as soon as we're almost done with it. We're just finishing up the booklet for that. And then we're going to go ahead and release the booklet. And so, because it's different from the sampler. The sampler is different from the class. So it's inspired. It has some of the motifs, and it's got, some of the colors and stuff. But as you can see, that Hussif, that little wrap up is just stunning. And it's very, very different. So you can, not feel bad about doing both. You'll love it. They want us to teach it in the Netherlands. That's great. Yeah. So Annemiek, who owns the needlework boutique. I don't know how to say it in Dutch. You guys, I think I told you guys I lived over there for like a year, and I traveled back and forth over there for 4 years, and would stay over there like three or 4 weeks at a time. Still can't speak any Dutch. The handwork boutique. That's what it's called. Annemiek, I set up sister shops when I opened Sassy Jack Stitchery, and I haven't really kept up with it or done much with it, but I reached out to, I wanted to have one in every country. And so Annemiek and I were roommates at one of Susan's events, and I love her, and she owns the handwork boutique in the Netherlands. And Susan, you'll have to tell me the town. I can't remember it right now. I know you told me the other day, and I don't remember. But it sounds like maybe we'll go over to Annemiek's shop and teach it there, and so I'm excited about that. But she's a sister shop to Sassy Jack Stitchery. And the other sister shop to Sassy Jack Stitchery is Karen and Brendan in Australia. So Linens and Threads, that was our other sister shop. So we haven't done anything yet. Annemiek and I did a whole video at Market a couple of years ago and had some big plans, and we were going to do an exchange and stuff, and, chaos ensued after that. It was pandemic and everything else. So haven't been able to do that, but maybe as we get a little bit settled, when we get back into our new space, we'll reach out and start working with our sister shops a little bit more. So we're excited. So anyway, that class is there. It's open. Rodin. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you're able to take a look at that class or some of the others. The soiree, let me talk to you about that a little bit. So the soiree this year is a little different from the one that we did in 2020. We did not do one in 2021. In 2019, it was in person, and it was so much fun. in 2020, we did it online, and it was a last minute switch to online because of everything that was happening with the pandemic. In March of 2020, we thought it was going to be maybe 12 weeks and we'd be back open. And, well, you see where we are. We're just now getting back in the swing of things. So we did a lot of interviews, and, we had a custom thing that we gave you guys. This year, we're going to offer you 4 different classes, and they're optional. And so if you've already signed up for the soiree, you're good for the soiree. But sometime very soon, I'm going to be sending out information. If you're signed up, I'm going to be sending out information about the class options. And they're optional. They're all pretty inexpensive. So by inexpensive, $50 or less. And you will tell me which ones you want to take, and then we send that out to you at one time before the soiree, the kits for it, along with, the special things that we'll give you for being part of the soiree, which we always do a custom design for the soiree. Sometimes we kit it and sometimes we don't, and we'll see where we are this year. If we can get the materials, we'll kit it. And if not, and not everybody wants to stitch it. So you hate to kit, 300 of something and people don't want it. So we might not kit it. We might just make the kit available. And that way, if you like it and you want to stitch it, you can get the kit at, like a reduced cost or something. Probably the best way to do it. But we always do something custom for you, and we always do some little gifts too. And so we're looking forward to that. So this year, the 4 classes, Allie's going to do button weaving, and it's going to be beautiful. So she's already picked out 1 or 2 that she thinks she wants to do, and she's narrowing it down. And they're beautiful. They're just so much fun, and beautiful and easy to do. Susan's going to do heart anger, and then a separate class is going to be black work. And so you've got those 3, and then I'm going to teach you some kind of specialty stitch thing. So I'm waffling right now. I've got this really neat little sampler that's got some specialty stitches in it, but I know not everybody's a sampler person. I have a darning sampler that I thought about doing. So I'm on the fence about what I'm going to do, and I'm, Johnny come lately. I've got to make my decision here this week, and you'll have that option. But, as inexpensive as we can make them is what we'll make them, because they're really just teaching events for you to enjoy. And the way that we plan to do it is each class will be pre-recorded. And so we'll put the videos out there, and if you've elected to take the class, we'll give you access to the videos. During the soiree, we'll put it out there beforehand so you can watch it. During the soiree, we will also field live questions. And so each teacher for each class will do some live Zooms where you can ask questions. And so we'll facilitate that way. And so you can get your questions out. And then, of course, we're always going to be available to answer those questions later. They're all very small, and they're really just meant to teach you the technique. But they're really, really fun and beautiful. Allie's buttons are beautiful. Susan's projects, I've got pictures of those and seen those in person. They're beautiful. And everybody's taken a lot of time with them. Susan has actually, put together a lot for hers. So I think you're going to really like it. And Susan is known for self-finishing. Right, so hers creates something. And then Allie's creates this beautiful button, which you can use on something else, like we're doing on, our Hussif. Perfect thing for that, or something else. And mine, I don't know, I'll think of what you can do with it. But anyway, it'll be there. So that's that. Before I forget, we just brought in the whole line of Soie de Paris from Access Commodities. So let me grab that. And while I'm up, I'll grab that project card that I want to show to you. I'm sorry I'm not better prepared. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, so let me show you the project cards. And remember, if you buy the Bristol, you're going to get one of these. So, but we're going to put them together in packs of 10 too. But I think they're really pretty. So this just pulls straight from Alice Ellen Usher. So you've got a place on there to record all your important things. So there are something like a little less than 300 of these. They're very, very shiny, very beautiful. And they come on these little spools. And if you look at antique samplers, especially whitework samplers, they would have been stitched with something similar to this. And so if you've taken a Trish Newman class, or, you know, you've done whitework with somebody, or Jackie Duplessis sometimes uses these, you would have seen this swat of Paris. So you can see that that's kind of thick, but it strands down into 3 pieces. Oh, it strands down into a lot more than 3. What was I thinking? Maybe I was thinking about something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It strands down into about 6 ply. Very beautiful. And I'm just going to use a southern slang here. It is slick as snot. And I mean that. It is very slickery. So it is so slick. So, you know, you have to have a little patience to stitch with it, and love. You really have to want to use it. But the effect of it is so stunning that you will not regret taking your time and stitching with it. It is just really, I mean, if you think of silk and the most slick, beautiful silk that, you know, you can put your hands on, that's pretty much how it feels. But it is very slick. So, slickery is what we call it. But we're using it. I'm doing Trish Newman's whitework class, and I know Beth is in there too, and a few other people. And we're stitching some with it. And I'm not really having any trouble with it, to be honest. Some people complain about it. But if you want something really shiny, this is the thing. It's so shiny. And they're all like that. Like, they're just so shiny and pretty. Ooh, that green's not even showing up. It's so bright. Oh, poor green. I wonder if it'll show up on here. Let's see. Yeah, but it doesn't look green. That's weird. I don't know what to say about that. But this one's pink. So anyway, we've got that full line. They're not online yet, but they'll be going online soon. So if you're doing any projects that call for swat of Paris, you know, we've got it now. I know that Kathy at... I can't believe I can't think of it right now. Oh, Kathy and I are friends. The shop in California. Needle in a haystack. Yeah, needle in a haystack. Kathy carries them too. And we've also got Swagoblin. Also not online yet, but we've had that for a little while, and I've just been loving on it. I really like Swagoblin too. So, yeah, Kathy Ray, that is her last name. So, you know, we have both of those. They're both fun to stitch with if you're doing some specialty stitching and you want something really shiny. I'm going to show you again the Sun Always Shines at Sassy Jack's. Yay! So, I put this online. I know you guys were looking for it, and I apologize I didn't get it done earlier. I was trying to wait till I got all my fabric back. But we got some of it today, and we'll get the rest of it this weekend. And the other thing that we were doing was putting the DMCs into the kits, because I didn't really realize that it needed DMCs, and it needs like 8 DMCs. So we are adding those to the kit too. So you get the linen or the Aida, and you can do either. And the kits are, I think they're both $50, because I think they're cheaper than what they should be. And I think I just made them, I don't think I included the price of the DMC, and I think I just put them kind of both in there at a little bit lower price, because I wanted you to buy them. I want you to enjoy it. So I think both kits, linen and Aida, are like $50 for the whole thing. So that includes the chart. It includes the linen or the Aida, and it's already cut and serged. It's a little bit bigger than you need, because we gave you a fat 1/8. It includes all the specialty fibers from Weeks Dye Works, which there are 7 of those, full skeins, and it includes full skeins of DMC. Because I was waffling back and forth on whether to put the DMC in there, because I knew that you guys might have it, and it's kind of smallish, and you might not need a lot of it. And Allie was like, well, Kim, which way would you be more frustrated? Would you be more frustrated if you got the DMC and didn't need it? or if you needed it and you didn't get it. I said, good point, Allie. That's why I keep you here. So today we were adding the DMCs to it. So you'll have everything in here except for your little scissors to stitch this. But I'm reading Stephanie's inscription on the back. She's just so sweet. She's really sweet. And if you haven't checked out Lindy Stitch's other stuff, you can go check it out. And I mentioned before that she includes a full alphabet for you to change these letters. So you don't have to make it say Sassy Jacks. You can make it say whatever you want to and put it in your own craft room. You could leave the letters off, really, and put it in your own craft room or wherever you want to put it. And you could make it into a pillow or, whatever. I'm in love with it. She made a really cute little squirrel. And it was stitched by Chris Canaday. So thank you, Chris, for doing that. So really pretty. The other thing that I put online, and I'll put more, I didn't put a ton of them out there, are some odd cuts. And if you've not ever gone out and looked at our odd cuts, they are pieces that over, different periods of time we've custom cut linen, or they're the end of, in this case, the end of a spool of banding. And so there are odd cuts out there right now. There aren't a ton. I might have put like 12 or 13 out there, but I'm looking at a whole nother bag that I need to put online. And they're all really low prices. And they could be any size. They could be any size banding, any color banding, whatever. They may or may not be serged odd cuts. We don't usually serge it. It's really just the leftover piece. We mark it way down and we rehome it to its forever home. But there's little bits and pieces in there, and they're really pretty. Some of them are, definitely enough to stitch on. All of them are enough to stitch on, but some of them are enough to do something substantial on, and some, maybe not so much. But you can go out there and take a look, and sometime over the weekend I'll get the rest out there. But always jump out and take a look at the odd cuts, because I can only do it when I have time. But we go through our boxes of linens, and we pull out anything that's not a standard cut, and we go through and we put them on there. The reason that there's not all the banding is not on there is because each one of those banding has to be photographed first. So it takes a little more time than putting the linen on there, because we can get one good picture of Coco, for example, from Week Styleworks, and we can add 40 different odd cuts. Whereas with the banding, each one has to be photographed and emailed over and set up in the product for a one-time sale. So anyway, there's a few odd cuts out there. I wanted to share an experience with you that I had yesterday. And so I love needlepoint. I don't know if you guys knew that. I love needlepoint. Given my druthers, would probably spend more than half my time doing needlepoint. But I don't have the chance to do that. But I don't like painted canvas. I really like counted canvas. And so I like geometrics, really. And I love to do classes and stuff, and sometimes I just like to pretend I'm going to do the class, and I buy the kit and I don't get it done. But this one I hope I'm going to get done. This one is an Orna Willis class, and I've never taken a class by Orna Willis. Oh, Barbara's asking me, is it on the website now? Yes, The Sun Always Shines is on the website now. It is. Hey, Candy. When will Alice, Ellen Usher be released? Soon. I'm waiting for it to come back from the printer. I mean, I can put it out there for you guys to buy, but I hate to do that when I don't have it in my hot little hands to ship it. So hopefully soon. Judy asking me, what is it called? Maybe it's called, you're talking about The Sun Always Shines. I bet it's called The Sun Always Shines at Sassy Jacks. And there's a few ways to find it. You can look under Sassy Jacks custom kits, something like that. It's there. It's under Lindy Stitches. You can look Sun Always Shines. It'll pop up. It's really pretty. And that pistachio linen is just gorgeous. It's really pretty. It's a sweet little springy thing. Okay. Let me have a drink, and then I'm going to talk to you about Orna. You're welcome, Judy. Okay. So, needlepoint. So a great place to do different kinds of classes online, because I know a lot of you want to do online classes, is called the Shining Needle Society. And they have been out there. Terry, if you look up odd cuts, they'll pop up. Or if you look at Just In, they're in there. And Odd Cuts has its own category. So if you look up Odd Cuts, they'll all pop up. And I take them all down once they sell. And they're unique. They each have a unique identifier. They can only be sold one time. So, la la. I need a helper. Nobody will do it with me. Everett won't do it, and Allie won't do it because she hates to be on video. So it's just me. And I locked Herschel out tonight, although I have a couple of cute stories about him. So, Orna Willis. I had never had a class with Orna. I did inherit a whip that I have kept for myself because it was very interesting looking. It was really bright. And when I first looked at it, I was like, yikes. And then I looked at the stitches on it, and I was like, that's really cool. And I like needlepoint because you get to do a lot of different stitches and you get to use a ton of different fibers. And so the Shining Needle Society is maintained on Yahoo Groups. Kate Gaunt does it. She does a fantastic job with it. And they offer lots of different classes with great instructors. And they have been around a long time. So they've been doing this, I want to say, since probably 10 years or more. You know, I know they were doing it when I was in my Cary house. And I left there in 2015. And I think they were doing it well before that. I'd have to look back, but I'm going to say 10 years. So they know what they're doing. And so they offered this Orna Willis class. And I thought, At first I was like, I don't know. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, I think I would love to do that. And so I'm just going to show you a picture of the front of it. It's called Nomi's Dragons. And so it's on this, I don't know what this looks like on your screen, but it's on this mint bright green backing. And it's these Chinese dragons. And if you look at the triangle, you can see the dragon's face. So there's 3. And 2 of them are facing up and 1 of them's facing down. So he's got his head down there and then his body and then his little tail. And it's just beautiful. And so I got the kit yesterday. And when you get a kit, you know, so we try to do a good job when we package our kits because we know not Yahoo Groups. Aura. Yes, you got yours. I saw you were in that group. Yahoo Groups, I guess, right? Beth? Or not? I might have said that wrong. I think it's Yahoo Groups, unless they changed it. Maybe it's Google Groups or something. They might have changed it, and I apologize. I will let you know for sure. But the Shining Needle Society, if you search on that, I think it'll come up, and you can figure out how to get hooked into that. But lots and lots of opportunities for online classes. They probably do. I don't know. I feel like they've got 3 going at any given time. And so I got this kit yesterday, and it came in a priority box. And this was the first box I saw. And it came with canvas, which was rolled up in beautiful tissue paper. And then it had this black, heavyweight, like parchment envelope. Google Groups. Thank you, Beth. So Beth says it's in Google Groups. They left Yahoo Groups because Yahoo Groups died and went away. So they're in Google Groups. So I opened the priority box. The canvas was in there. This beautiful, fancy-looking black envelope was in there. And this gorgeous box. So I take the canvas out and I look at it. And it's pretty. And it's green paper, which I love green. That's my favorite color. And I looked at this box and I was like, wow, that's nice. Because, you know, it's not always that you get a box that's like printed with something like that on it. And so first I opened the box. And the first thing I saw was this little paper there. Right? And this is her company name. And so it says, welcome to Nomi's Dragon. And then she goes through and she tells you things about the class and stuff. And then when I looked inside, look at all that. I was like, oh my gosh. It's just little bag after little bag of different kinds of silk. And so just incredibly beautiful. Each one packaged individually. I haven't even taken them all out and fondled them yet. I'll let Allie look at it too. And so this is the color. It's just not showing up right on my screen. I don't know what it looks like for you, but it's a green, like a grass green. Swat Alger, you know, Threadworks. There's like a bunch of different brands and a little pair of scissors. There's a bunch of different brands of silks in here. And I've never even used Trebizond. So a whole bunch of trebizon, which I know Kathy Ray talked about this on one of the fiber talks, but I don't remember ever using that before. And then neon rays and some other stuff. I'm getting choked up about it again. So I was just really like, wow. That was my reaction. I was like, wow. Okay. I just thought it was beautiful. And it's really neat to open up something that's really beautiful, which is why Susan and I wanted to do that really cool name tag for you guys, because I think it's very beautiful and it's just a sweet little extra that you'll really love. And then I opened up this, and inside of this were these laminated graphs. And I was like, holy cow. You know, I can't show them to you because they've got charting on them. But, you know, I mean, this is a thick laminate. This is not like, you know, thin stuff. You can hear it. There's 4 of them, actually, not 3. And they've got all the charts in there. So I'm really looking forward to the class. Anyway, I just wanted to share it with you because I just thought it was so nicely done. And it's always nice to get, you know, a project in the mail. And I just thought that one was amazing. I was like, wow, it was really cool. So we're at about 56 minutes I've been chatting on. So Beth has said that she has stitched Orna's stuff before. Ara, have you stitched something from Orna Willis before? And so now I'm really excited about the other whip that I had upstairs that, you know, was one that I inherited. I'm going to go pull it out and stitch. Yeah, Melanie, it was a lot of fun to look through that stuff. And I actually didn't pull it all out like I did for you. It was really late last night, and I kind of saw it was all in there, and I was like, well, I was a little bit overwhelmed. And so I sent Orna a note, and I said, well, it was a nice packaging. And then I kind of put it back in there and left it for the day. I was pretty busy today. So that's actually the first time I pulled out all the silks and got to see it was with you. And I know I don't usually do stuff like that for you, but it was, I just thought it was really kind of cool. So, you know, check out the Shining Needle Society and see if there's anything out there that you want to do. Okay. From Victoria's Sampler Patterns. Yeah, I like Victoria's Sampler too. And we still have some of their charts. We actually still have some of their kits. And I don't think they're online because we're kind of boxed up right now. But when we get back in the shop, if you like Victoria's samplers, because I know she stopped selling her kits, we'll put all those on the website. And, you know, if you're looking for something, we might have it. Because I know we had quite a few of her little, you know, thread kits for the different gingerbread stuff, mostly. Any questions or anything before I let you get off to your suppers tonight? Beth, yeah, I mean, I wish you'd signed up for it too. But, you know, I suckered Beth into, well, one of us seduced the other into signing up for Hazel Blumenkamp. I'm going to say that wrong. One of her classes. I don't know who brought it up, but we both ended up doing it. And I haven't done that yet. So they're really pretty. So I want to, I'm looking forward to doing that too. My eyes are always bigger than my stitching stomach. I'll say that. Even Allie started laughing at me the other day. She was like, you love to start. I was like, I do love to start. And tonight I was like, what should I talk about tonight? She goes, oh, I don't know. She goes, and she just was kind of laughing. She goes, do you have any whips you can show them? I was like, you're so mean. You know, I have 1,000 whips. So, oh, I try not to do that too much. But, yeah, so we are ready to ship The Sun Always Shines. That's your April, May stitching project with us. If you have finished your others, your Red February and your 17th, if you wanted to do it, or if you wanted to do those, but you can stitch on whatever you want to. Somebody asked me, can you still sign up for her class? I don't know, Rhonda. I don't think so, because she had a lot of trouble getting the kits. But go out to Shining Needle Society or send Orna a note and see if she has any extra kits. That's what I would do. I would send Orna Willis a note. And if you search for her, her name will come up. And you can send her a note, because it doesn't start until April. And see if she still has any kits that you can do. Let's see what if you can make some magic happen. I don't know. I know she had trouble getting the stuff, so I don't know if she got any extra, because we were supposed to have already started, and some of the supplies came in, like a month or two late, which I didn't mind because I wasn't ready, so it worked out. Um, I don't know. I think I was talking about Allie teasing me about my starts. I don't mind. I like to start. I like to finish too. Maybe I'll finish some things. I have finished some needlepoint stuff. I find it very relaxing, and I can't wait to get upstairs to my craft room and get it all set up, and I can just sit and stitch. So, all right, ladies, I will release you into the wild. I will see you next Friday, and I hope you have a really great week. And thanks again for tuning in and hanging with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you watch this after it's over, thanks for watching it then too. Now, if you're having trouble finding us, if you subscribe, I think it'll notify you. So you'll be able to find it even if I don't get the little link posted out there. But I really appreciate all you guys. I hope you have a really great weekend. Bye.